After losing against Viz last week, we look to get back into the win column against Obo and Azumarill United in week number 4 of the BBL. Obo has probably my favorite team in the league this season, with an amazing combination of Groudon and Terra Raging Bolt. Week 4 is always one of the most important weeks of the season, and with the chance to go 3-1, we need to take this victory to keep our season on track. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single upload for the BBL. Only 18% of the people who watch these videos are subscribed, so you'll want to make sure you get subscribed to not miss a single video that we upload on this channel. Getting into the matchup details, our team is Lunala, Greninja, Terra Kingambit, Florges, Blastoise, Infernape, Bronzong, Dunsparce, Houndstone, Mudsdale, and Swalot. Obo's team is Groudon, Terra Raging Bolt, Screamtail, Rillaboom, Roaring Moon, Skarmory, Volcanion, Conkeldurr, and Porygon 2. Obo's powerful Sun Core is what makes it one of the best teams in the BBL this season, with Terra Raging Bolt getting almost guaranteed photosynthesis boosts throughout the game with Groudon's Drought ability. Neutralizing setup Raging Bolt is going to be critical to our success this week, as we don't have a great long-term counterplay to the powerful Terra Captain. Rillaboom is also a very good threat against our team this week, with most of my team compositions unable to switch into this Pokemon regularly. Our best way to beat this Pokemon is likely to leverage a Rindoberry lure, killing it in a situation that I would not expect. This is hopefully going to be one of Kingambit's weeks to shine, with Kowtow Cleave and Low Kick covering almost Obo's entire team. Screamtail does open us up to risk with Encore on Swords Dance and Sucker Punch turns, and Raging Bolt can create mind games with Thunderclap and the Terra we plan on bringing, but otherwise shines in the mid to late game against Obo's team. Mudsdale leads the team this week to get up Stealth Rocks early and lure in the Rillaboom, hoping for our Rindoberry plus counter bait to pick it off early. We are Rindoberry instead of Focus Sash to prevent U-turn leads like Roaring Moon from breaking our Focus Sash. High horsepower gives us ground coverage that always breaks Raging Bolt's substitute even under grassy terrain, even as well if Obo brings a Terra that it's neutral to ground. Body Press is our final move, allowing us to attack Roaring Moon if it tries to set up in front of us. With Bronzong being our only ground immunity, we are going to need a more creative solution to Groudon this week. Air Balloon Infernape, while not perfect, is able to buy us enough time against the powerful Uber. With Calm Mind Raging Bolt and Substitute Groudon being nuisances for this team, we are running Encore to stop these Pokemon in their tracks. Our offensive coverage is mixed, with Overheat to take advantage of the sun set up by Groudon, Gunk Shot to pressure especially defensive Screamtail switching in to take the Overheat, and Close Combat to break Porygon 2. Our win condition this week is Weakness Policy Agility Lunala, looking to set up an agility on Roaring Moon or Porygon 2, breaking through Obo's entire team at +2 special attack and +2 speed in the late game. The coverage to enable this is fairly simple, with Moongeist Beam as our stab coverage against almost Obo's entire team, with Moonblast to hit Roaring Moon and Focus Blast to hit Porygon 2. To enable the Weakness Policy Lunala, we need to be getting up as many hazards as possible, lowering the effectiveness of a Pokemon like Porygon 2. Greninja slots into that role this week with the Protean Spikes +3 attack set. Ice Beam and Grassot are key coverage moves, both dealing massive damage to Groudon, while giving us different options for changing our type. Ice Beam Stab is crucial for checking Roaring Moon, while being a grass type makes it more difficult for Rillaboom to revenge kill us after killing Groudon. Sludge Wave is our final coverage move to deal with the Screamtail, one of the best defensive Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Terra Kingambit this week is Flying Terra with Wakanberry, looking to lure Obo's Raging Bolt in the mid-game. Otherwise, our set is fairly standard with Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, and Kowtow Cleave, the standard offensive Terra Kingambit set in Draft League. While luring Raging Bolt is the goal of the item, Low Kick, our final coverage move, is just as important as a way to help break down Porygon 2 in the mid-game, our biggest resistance to the Lunala endgame. The 6th Pokemon on this team was hard to nail down, but we decided to go with the Calm Mind specially defensive Florges. We expect to see a Porygon 2 in the endgame, one that is specifically geared to manage a Lunala, so a mix between a defensive piece and a win con can help us get through the final turns of the game, as well as a Calm Mind War with Raging Bolt if required. And with that, we have our final team for week 4 of the BBL against Obo. Shout out as always to Kaz, Brown, and Diet Tight for all of the build and mock support this week. Let's get right into the battle. Alright, we are here for week number 4's battle against Obo. He has not elected to bring Rillaboom, which was a big threat in this game. That's why we have Rindo lead Mudsdale. We're still going to lead our Rindo lead Mudsdale because getting up Stealth Rocks is oh so important here in this battle. So we're going to want to take advantage of that as much as possible. Good luck, have fun to Obo in this game. Make sure to subscribe, like the video if you have not already, if you've gotten to this point. Of course, you got Larry background. That's always a classic. He has Terra Electric on his Raging Bolt here, which is good news. We'll take a Mudsdale lead against this any day of the week. He has Booster, Special Attack. Let's take a look. We don't need this Pokemon here, really at this point, for what we were intending to use it for. This was going to be a lead lure for Rillaboom. And because of the fact that he is not having Rillaboom on his team, we're just going to high horsepower, deal as much damage as we can to this Pokemon, deter any potential setup, especially where it is a booster, special attack. We want to put that pressure on early. He could use this as an opportunity to get into Skarmory. That would be perfectly okay. I think we'd be fine with that every day of the week. He could easily be, I mean, he could be some nasty Shukaberry, or not Shukaberry, some like weakness. Oh, no, he can't be. Oh, come on. I always say it could be items when I get revealed the item. But classic. I think he has to switch out here. I think like this Mudsdale lead is just not, he's just not going to get anything out of this lead. I don't think he's going to be Draco. He's just going to elect to Terra. And what's he going to do? Draco? He'll do a lot to me, but as I said, like this Pokemon is not here. Had like such a different role in this game, and if I can take away the Raging Bolt, like I'm really happy with that. Yeah, I'll eat this Draco any day of the week. Yeah, that is basically max roll there on Draco. Alright, we don't miss the high horsepower, which is good. That does, in the range we expect, this might have a little bit of bulk, but not a lot. And like we've taken so much damage now on this Raging Bolt. There's no chance that this doesn't kill at this point. The thing is, with all of this HP, I don't have a fairy type to go in. I guess I can actually just go this. I can save that as a sack for later. So I'm just going to go into Florges here. We've kind of deterred the threat of Calm Mind Raging Bolt here. Obviously, we could have gone straight into Florges. I'm a little bit surprised that you aggressively Draco there. But we got a double out here. Okay, so let's see what he wants to go into. Teddy Bear, that is the Groudon, I assume, right? Okay, perfect. So Groudon comes in. We don't get any real information on the item. So he catches me on Florges, which is okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, our play is to always go into Air Balloon and Fernape here. There's not really a click he can make that punishes going into Infernape here. He's loved to have Substitute against me when I've mocked him for other battles. So I'm kind of expecting a Substitute turn here, realistically. And we have Encore for that. So all things considered, a good start to this battle. You know, one of the things that I've been concerned with in these first few games is we haven't gotten into the game well. The early games have gone pretty poorly. But if he just ground moves or Substitute here, that's a great early first couple of turns here. And he does just Precipitous Blades. Perfect. So we've gotten a really aggressive switch in. This is going to be a nasty overheat. You do not have a good switch into this at all. Your switch into this is going to be like Volcanion, and then I can just sack off my Mudsdale at that point. So I'm just going to drop an overheat here. Let's pick up some massive damage. He can stand and break the balloon. Give me 1 billion HP on this. And that gives me good omens for the rest of the game. Let's see what he likes to do. I think realistically a Volcanion switch comes in here. I think that is probably the most likely play that we would expect in this spot. He is going to withdraw here. I really would have liked to get up rocks with my Mudsdale. That would have been obviously super fire, but yeah, in comes the Volcanion. We're going to get to put a little bit of chip. That's not going to tell us a lot, but you know, that is what it is. So I think he can click a multitude of things here. There's like, I don't think it really matters what. I don't think there's a lot of things he can click that aren't just kill. I mean, he can go for Substitute, like that's a possibility. But if he's Substitute, then I can go and break the sub with Lunala, and that's I think where I want to go next. After the fact is Lunala here. Lunala puts a lot of pressure with the Moongeist Beam. And if he goes into Porygon, then I can start Focus Blasting up. So I protect my Air Balloon, which means his next turn with Groudon is going to be a little bit more difficult, and we're just going to sack off this. He's just going to double out. Okay. What does he take advantage of here? Teddy Bear. So he just Precipitous Blades last time. Do I just want to get my rocks up here? I think he might just heat crash. If he sets up a substitute, that's obviously a problem, but I do have my Lunala Shadow Shield, which I can leverage if I have to. And if I get an opportunity to get up my rocks here, I kind of want to take them. So I'm going to just set up my rocks and sack this Pokemon. And he's just going to heat crash. Okay, so we sack this Pokemon off. Oh, we get our rocks up. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Big defense on God Mudsdale coming through there. Does that give me any information about this set against Mudsdale? So that did what? I was at like 85. That did like just like 69. So this is like adamant. This is like adamant 252 probably. I mean, we'll take that every day of the week. I'll just go for high horsepower now. As I said, we're just sacking this Pokemon off. We got our rocks. As I said, rocks are massive for that Volcanion. That Pokemon is going to be such a problem here in this battle that we just have to take that opportunity where we can get up. So early rocks, Raging Bolt neutralized, and we get a pretty powerful overheat turn here with Infernape. A little bit aggressive because he is like potentially locked into Heat Crash here, and he might just take this as an opportunity to break my my thing. And he doesn't have the Sun Up, so this could be a little bit aggressive just to lose this. But I mean, I don't think he's not gonna risk a Grass Knot here. That there's no value in that for him. And I'd like to continue to put the pressure up as much as possible, because Grass Knot, like any move into Grass Knot here is gonna kill. So I think you kind of have to continue to play this safe. Like, this is your big threat here in this battle. The only thing I can see is if you want to break the balloon on this turn. But if you lose like all your HP on this guy, then breaking the balloon doesn't really actually help you in the end game, because you just don't have the HP on this guy to leverage it. I can already see Maggie in the background ready to fucking leave. He has Choice Scarf. Okay, that is good to know. That's a nice crit. At least like to get this overheat off and get some damage. Yeah, that's good damage. So that did what, like what is that? Like 200 to like 170. A crit shouldn't kill me here. And that did so much. That did not like a lot for a crit. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of sacking off like too many Pokemon here. I do kind of have to like be mindful of the fact that like I can't just keep sacking Pokemon to sack them here, but I don't have an amazing pivot into this, so I think what I'm going to do is just go for the close combat, and I should get a chance to... I'm just going to close combat here, I think. He's going to switch. Okay, wow. What does he go into? That's a great turn for me. That's a great turn for me. Please not be Boots. No, he is Boots. That's not a 2 KO. Okay. A great turn for me, though. Great turn. And while I don't really have another option here. Let me think about how this game's going to play out. So we know it's Choice Scarfed Groudon, which means agility is going to be really important in this end game for that Pokemon to make sure we outspeed. And it is in range. Now, the question here is, do I need to preserve Infernape for much of anything? And if I do sack Infernape, what do I do next? I threaten Battle Bond here, which is pretty good. I think what I want to do is just continue to take my damage on things. I have a lot of good endgame with Lunala and with the Florges that I'd rather just like put Chip on this Pokemon. If you like aggressively flamethrowers, then like I'm happy. I guess I'm like -2 defense. I'm not living any hit from this. And he's just gonna Steam Eruption. Okay, so we lose 2 Pokemon. That's a little bit frustrating, but we got good information. So we know this is Scarf Groudon. We know this is Boots Volcanion. And we have a lot of our good endgame pieces right here that we've preserved to get ourselves in a position to leverage them. The question here, so there's no hazards up, which means we can go Lunala perfectly fine here. I could even Agility. I don't know if that's like even, that's not really a play though to make. I can go Greninja. Greninja's fine. Greninja lets me open up a really good turn here with... I'm actually going to go Greninja here because one, it really threatens the Battle Bond, which is important. I am female Greninja. I don't know if Obo knows if that means this is Protean guaranteed. I don't know. Obo might not know. But he could also like play around. I think it's really reasonable for him to want to play around this. So I'm just going to Sludge Wave. One, because that puts me in the best typing after the fact. And if he goes Porygon, I get a poison chance, and that helps my endgame with Lunala just a little bit. So, look, we're down 6-4 right now, but we picked up a lot of good Pokemon here in this battle to really help us out. And our agility endgame looks really good with Lunala. King Gambit is starting to look really, really good here. A lot of things are starting to look nice here. And with that Groudon being Scarf, there's not a lot of mind games to be played with King Gambit, which was a potential difficulty to run into in this matchup. Let's see what he wants to do. I would sack I think he probably sacks this. If I had to guess, he's going to keep it. Alex Karev. This is a crazy switch. Poison? No poison. What is this doing here? Okay, so we don't see... we saw hazards get taken. This has to be Scarf, right? I live Adamant Earthquake here, so I think what I want to do actually is just take this Pokemon. Oh no, I'm not poison type. Frig. Oh no. Alright, I got the switch in time. Jesus. I forgot to put that as poison type in the calc. Oh, that would have been bad. Oh, I have booster on. Frig. I'm just all over the place right now. He just Earthquakes. This should be fine. Yeah, that's not, I mean, that's not great by any means. That looks to just be Adamant. I mean, he could have Iron Head here. Like, I think you have to be choice in this spot if you're going to play your thing like that. I don't see a world where you're not choiced. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense. The question here is, like, do I just, like, synth up? I think you just go Skarmory, to be honest, with this. If you go Skarmory, what's my next step? Probably go back to Greninja, honestly, and just start attacking. Ice Beam's not a great play, though. I probably have to go Lunala and just start Moongeist Beaming, which is probably fine, actually. I'm just going to synth up. If he's not choice, then I would be utterly surprised at this play. So I'm going to take this to get my HP back. He is not choiced. Wow, so he completely risked his... he just risked dying on that turn. To Greninja. Okay, well... Once again, I mean, this doesn't appear to be going well, but once again, as I said, I think like we're consistently in a pretty good spot to pick up this end game. So we know this is not choice now, which is good. So I just go Greninja here, outspeed every time. He could have Ice Berry. I mean, if he's Yachi, like that's not a thing I'm gonna play around now. I'm just going to take my Ice Beam. He's done a good job preserving a lot of Pokemon. Once again, so much of his team is super weak right now. That, like, I'm not even particularly worried. Alright, Maggie, you gotta go. Once again, this Lunala endgame is still super, super great. Because we get to set up with our weakness policy on the, what's it called, the Porygon. He's just going to give me this? Okay. I'll take this. Alright, we got a kill. That's funny, that didn't kill. I mean, I don't have any reason to click anything else. I'm just going to Ice Beam here. The Groudon is going to come in, which is a little bit frustrating in Heat Crash. That's not great. That could be, you know, we could... there are better turns out of that, obviously, but... I didn't have a great turn there. So, Volcanion's gone. I really think our endgame here is going to be the Lunala here. I think once Lunala gets an agility up and gets its weakness policy boosted, it's pretty over. The question is how do I actually do that? I can get an agility up on Choice Scarf Groudon, and I can kill it with Moongeist. He goes like Roaring Moon, I kill it with Moonblast, and if he goes P2, I just Focus Blast, Focus Blast. I think that's actually a good path to victory in this game. And then King Gambit can kind of sit in the back as an option. He's going to go into something else. Alright, he goes into P2. My lines in P2 are actually really good in this game. My line into King Gambit is actually super powerful here, especially with Wakanberry. And especially that it's Choice Scarf Groudon. So I'm just going to go into this. I get to preserve a Pokemon. I really thought he was just going to try to claim one with the Groudon there. Unless he's really fearing this to be Choice Scarf. Which I haven't switched moves yet, so I guess that's potentially valid to make that assumption. I got a lot of power from the Fallen here. I don't care about T-Wave here. T-Wave doesn't matter. I mean, I could get fucking hacks, but like whatever. Like if we're playing against that at this point, like whatever. Like it's just not something I'm considering at this point. I could just get my damage here. Like if you try, like if I just like low kick or something, I could SD. I don't think I need to get the Terra off because I don't think I'm ever switching hard at this point into. I need to preserve the Wakan Berry. SD doesn't open up a lot because I can just like low kick. Like what comes in? Skarmory? And then I Terra and Kowtow. Like I think that's fine. I'm just gonna low kick in the base form. Yeah. If he goes like Bolt or something, that could be interesting. This was Skarmory. Okay. That's good damage. Rocky Helmet, okay. The problem here is he's gonna get a free hazard up. The only attack you ever click here is Body Press. So Lunala switch is free. Skarmory is taking not a lot from Moongeist, but I don't think it's gonna have a move to hit me. And I think he might like just try to phase me out if I go Lunala. I think I'm just gonna Kowtow. Like I don't need HP on this. I will Terra though. I do think I have to Terra in case he has Body Press. I think I just have to be mindful of that. I think I have to be mindful of that. And if he does like Whirlwinds or like just sets up a Spike here, a Spike is a little bit unfortunate. That does make this endgame a little bit more difficult. But like if he's just spiking, then I'm gonna take this Kowtow. He's gonna get Rocks up. Okay, same difference. Yeah, Spike or Rocks. Obviously, Rocks is a little bit worse for my Terra King Gambit. Alright, that's fine. It would have been nice to have gone Lunala there and threatened this thing out, but like I'm not like confident that even like necessarily works out for me. I'm just gonna try to Kowtow again. I mean, he could just like stack a million hazards here, but that means I need chip now on Porygon. I guess I should have gone hard Lunala. That probably would have potentially, that could have checkmated the game. Because I get an agility up and I Focus Blast. I put it in the hands of a miss, but I think there's still plenty of paths to victory with agility that I can definitely take here. It's gonna Roost, that's fine. I mean, that's whatever, yeah. I mean, at this point, there's not much I can do about that. So what is he? I mean, I could SD, like, I might as well just SD at this point. I might as well, finally I get a hit off, and he's gonna Whirlwind me out. Which is fine. I'd love to get into Greninja here, I think. Greninja's probably my best play, like my best sequence here. If I get Lunala, I get Lunala. That's fine. Alright, I get Gren. I'll take that. Boots Gren is pretty nice here. I think I just get up a Spike. Does Spike actually change anything? I don't think Spike changes a single calc here the rest of the way. So I'm just going to Ice Beam. I was really thinking about this one. I'm curious as to what his thought process would be on this turn. I think Porygon has to just be your default play, right? Like I don't see a world where you just don't go Porygon too. Not taking my chance with Lunala might come to bite me here though, which I'm a little bit concerned with. Sure, okay. I'll take the Roaring Moon, I guess. That is pretty good for me, actually. Alright, that's one more big threat gone. Once again, this P2 is still, like, there and still, like, a problem, but if I, like, Sludge Wave it and, like, Poison it here on this turn, then, like, that is good for me. Then, like, I'm super happy with that sequence. The problem is now, because rocks are up, I can't go Lunala. I can't Agility on Lunala, because then I'm weak to everything. I can't go Lunala anyway. I can't do anything with Lunala, really. I've lost a lot of users, though, which makes the thing pretty useful, but I think this is going to come down to the fact that I didn't go aggressive on Skarmory with Lunala and just attack. He might have Whirlwinded still. Alright, he goes into the Teddy Bear. I mean, I don't have another play. Like, he's gonna Heat Crash here. And that's gonna be what it's gonna be. There's like no planet that I can ever. I mean, he knows I'm Boots now. Do I have another option? He is low on timer, which is like also kind of a funny aspect of this game. Well, I'm just going to sack Greninja off. 07 Greninja. I mean, end of the road for you, buddy. Yep. Crit doesn't matter, obviously. This did like 300%. This is like 250%. I have to Sucker Punch here. I mean, any switch into this is fine. And I think I can find a way through if I last mon Lunala this, because I should be able to at least set up an agility on the what's it called? I should be able to get an agility off on the Skarmory if I'm last mon. Well, I'm gonna kill this with Sucker Punch if he lets me. If I get parried, I get parried. Like, that's tough, but if he switches, that's really good as well. I'd really just love to get this with Sucker Punch right now. That simplifies this endgame a million times. Oh, I do get this with Sucker Punch. Perfect. Wow, that's huge. That's game-changing, actually. Oh, this endgame just got interesting. This just got interesting. If he goes, like, Raging Bolt here, I wonder if he goes Raging Bolt. If he goes Raging Bolt, like, this could be over. This could be over if he goes Raging Bolt, because I have Wakanberry. And he's already wasted his booster. He goes Carl. He goes this. Okay. What, your move's what, Iron Head here? So you got Rocks, Roost, Whirlwind. I'd like to see him Whirlwind, honestly. I'd like him to Whirlwind here and give me a chance to... I mean, like, yeah, okay, he Whirlwinds. I mean, I SD'd, so it doesn't actually matter. What is the calc on Raging Bolt? So it's modest. So his Thunderclap is doing 32, so it's doing 147. We have to be very, very mindful of that number. That number is super important here. I think you have to go Porygon 2 here. I think that is your only play on this specific turn. Sequence, I don't see the path for another one. You could stand in Whirlwind here, actually. Like, that's perfectly fine, but my goal here is to click Focus Blast on the incoming Porygon 2. Because you're not Iron Heading, you could Whirlwind, and I can get some Focus Blast chip. But I'd love to get that on the P2. That's the big thing here. With Rocks Up, this could even be a 2 KO. I don't think it would be, but it has a little bit of chip, not a lot though. Alright, so he's probably Whirlwinding here. I don't think he Iron Heads. That's a huge, huge chip. Wow, big. That's huge. We needed that. That's a great turn for me. Because now he can't, what's a Shadow Ball do from Porygon 2? After Rocks, I can live some of these Shadow Ball into, what's it called? These Shadow Ball into Thunderclap calcs, I can live. I mean, I think I just kowtow. I try to get this guy. Give me this guy. Come on, for the one time. With 4 guys dead, adamant, like, this looks pretty good. I think he's going to protecting his SD again. Okay, so he's just going to Roost off. Once again, Roost doesn't actually matter. As long as I hit this, so I'm going to get paralyzed and I'm chill. Because, like, the other thing to, like, actually note of this is, like, if I escape with this thing broken, like, he can't Whirlwind me out. And I don't need an agility turn here anymore. An agility turn doesn't actually help. I just have to keep this thing low. I just need to keep this thing low. Shadow Ball into... So it's 24. It can't just be high roll, high roll. It's going to be, what, 25? I'm odd, so I've got like 60 and 30, 90. It's like half. I think it's going to be half of the rolls here that kill. One HP is crazy work. Once again, I think I just need to keep this thing. I just need to keep my position here to not get whirlwinded. I think that's my play here. Every time. I think that's just my play every time. Come on, you gotta give me this. If there's a god, he lets me hit this. Come on, man. That's so unbelievable. I mean, I assume I get to outspeed and kill, right? Like, I'm just gonna kowtow again. Yeah, he's gonna go for the whirlwind. Thank God. Alright, this is the endgame we were playing for. Not like the cleanest way to get there by any means, but we are last mon Lunala against his team, and this is a path to a victory here in this battle. So I think in this specific turn, I do have to Moongeist Beam against Skarmory, because I can Focus Blast the next turn, take the Shadow Ball, and Focus Blast again, and that doesn't change any of the calcs. So I have to take this Pokemon if he gives it to me. So I have the Moongeist Beam. I could Focus Blast, but as I said, that doesn't change the calcs. Oh, it could. It could, actually. I think you just have to play it safe, though, here. Because, yeah, if he switches, I Focus Blast and Focus Blast. I showed the willingness to do that last time, so I think he's going to stay in. Yeah, I should have thought about that one a little bit longer. Because Focus Blast into Focus Blast just kills after rocks. A decent amount of... Well, this is a relaxing I'm looking at. I'm all over the place right now. He's going to withdraw. Yeah, that's not great. I really should have Focus Blasted. Oh, he gives me this instead. Okay. Wait, is this over? Is this over now? Because I just Focus Blast. As long as I hit my Focus Blast, right? I think this is game. I think I just have to hit my Focus Blast here. Unless he's some super crazy offensive Porygon 2. I live these hits every time. Alright, Focus Blast. One time. Hey, one time live this Shadow Ball, big dog. You got one job. Is to live this. No investment is doing 272. Max investment is doing 340. Max investment doesn't even kill here. Unless I'm missing analytic or something. I don't think he's going to be some crazy set. I think he's just going to be some Eviolite set. Come on. I just need to hit this. I need to hit this, and as long as I live, I Moonblast. Because it's going to be in range. And I can win this game. Wow, what a fucking stressful game, man. He could recover here, too. Like, I don't see recover being a play. Come on, man. There's bullshit. That's so dumb. Oh, my God. He let me... oh, he let me off the hook. He let me off the hook. Oh, my God. He doesn't know I'm Weakness Policy. Come on. That's going to do a lot of damage. That's a shit bitch of damage. Wow, crazy drop. Oh, he's foul play. I should live that, right? No! Oh my god, he's foul play. Damn. I did not... What is the foul play calc? Foul play calc is... How did foul play kill there? It's doing some analytics stuff, yeah. Wow, that was a close game. I think I put myself into a bad position early on against a lot of what he had. And that one, yeah, it's probably analytic there, which is probably kill. I was surprised he attacked. He didn't attack the first time, to be honest, because he should have just had me for that one. But yeah, good game to Obo. I think analytic was like obvious a threat. I don't think there was any way I could have kept Rocked off in that end game, which would have made that kind of fairly trivial in the end game if I had. But it is what it is. Good game to Obo. Next up, we play against Jason Dietite, so that'll be an exciting one. Check out Obo, all that fun stuff, and we'll see everyone next week.